the sports world. A sellout center of the sports world. A sellout crowd at Quicken Loans Arena as they look to crown a football champion for the first time in 50 years. But it won't be easy. The two-time defending champs are in the house. ArenaBowl 27 is next. Welcome inside the queue. Net 10 Wireless ArenaBowl 27. The National Conference champions, the Arizona Rattlers, the American Conference champions, the Cleveland Gladiators. And this is how we got to this point. The two number one seeds both win by double digits to get to the championship game. Hello, I'm Ari Wolf. So glad that you're with us. So if you're not already an Arizona fan or a Cleveland fan, your decision's pretty easy. Dynasty or destiny. Arizona is the back-to-back champions. They have come to the ArenaBowl 4 straight seasons. One of the great franchises in AFL history. And they are going for what would be a record-tying 5th ArenaBowl title. But on the other side is Cleveland. They are a team of destiny. Nobody expected they'd be here. They only won 4 games last year. They set a league record with 17 wins, and remarkably, 6 of them on the final play of the game. It's a dream matchup. Hollywood couldn't have scripted any better. I bring in friend and partner Anthony Herron. For Cleveland, an unheard-of quarterback, Shane Austin, who played at Hawaii. Didn't even start till week 4 and has somehow led them to this championship game.
When you think back to the Super Bowl last year, we saw something similar where Russell Wilson was a quarterback who wasn't respected early in his career, a second-year player, and that's really who Shane Austin is. Second-year quarterback, got mobility, can hurt defenses inside and outside the pocket, but he's got a bear on the other side in the Arizona Rattlers.
Oh, the Arizona Rattlers are the real deal. And they have the best player in the Arena Football League, hands down. The 2014 AFL MVP in Nick Davila. All he does is win. This guy gets to championships every year. Why is he so good in the Arena Football League?
It really goes beyond the numbers with Nick Davila. The 127 touchdown passes, second all-time for a single season in the AFL. That's astounding, but when you think of who he is as a person, what Nick Davila has done off the field, lost his father in week 12, still was able to finish out the season at an extremely high level. Nick Davila is a great guy, a great leader that this team needs.
They're going to need everything because this place is packed. Cleveland starved for a championship. We can't wait for the kickoff. The Arizona Rattlers, the Cleveland Gladiators next. This Arena Football game is brought to you by Net 10 Wireless. No contract wireless on America's best networks.
Compete. Be relentless. Be relentless for 60 minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right? Second thing is stick together. All right? It's not going to be perfect every single time, but stick together. All right? Hey, one more thing. Finish. We finish. Every game we finish. All right? Don't let it up. Keep playing. Keep playing all the way to the end. Remember, 1-0, we're champs. 1-0 tonight, we're champs.
Yes, sir.
But you got to keep fighting and you got to stick together. Everybody got it?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Go. Here we go. Listen up. Hey, just like we talked about today now. Dominance, okay? Dominance. Dominant teams like going to opposing teams' turfs now, okay? This is going to be our house tonight.
Yes, sir.
Physical game for 60 minutes. Dominate them. I promise you we're going to break them now. We're going to make them submit to us. 60 minutes of physical play, okay? Win your matchup. Win your matchup. Offense, defense, special teams, it don't matter. Win your matchup. We're going to be champs tonight. Let's go. Let's
Net 10 Wireless ArenaBowl 27. You just heard from the two coaches, two different styles, two different teams with two completely different attitudes. And we're going to have two guys down on the field to help bring the atmosphere to you. And first of all, we go to our Hall of Famer, number 13, Sed Bonner.
Thanks, Ari. Down here with the mastermind, Coach Kevin Guy. Coach, it's your 4th straight ArenaBowl. 3 of those on neutral side. First time in hostile territory. How have you guys changed preparation coming in this week?
Well, we piped in some music this week to try to get ready for this noise tonight. It's a great atmosphere here. This is the matchup that everybody wanted to see, but we're going to see if that's the matchup they want by the end of the night. We're going to make it the Audubon Highway tonight.
Did you guys do anything different? You got a veteran group of guys. Anything changed from your preparation?
Not at all. We do what we do. We're going to go out and play Rattler football.
Appreciate it, Coach. Let's take a look at Cleveland with JB. JB?
And I have Shane Austin. Shane, as you prepared for this first season in Cleveland, you had two very specific goals. What were they, and how did you remind yourself of them?
Two goals I had before the season even started was to be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Gladiators and to win an ArenaBowl championship. And I just put it on my mirror so I could see it every morning, every night before I go to bed, and say it to myself. And just me being here is just a testament to God's grace.
Now that you're here, what do you have to do to finish the season?
We got to do what we've done all season long, and that's execute, take care of the football, and just play our game.
Let's kick it off. Back upstairs to Ari.
Thank you very much, Jamie. Rules of the game, 4 15-minute quarters. The clock runs except during the final minute of each half. One offensive player may be in forward motion before the snap. No outside stunting or twisting. No punting, and a missed kick rebounding off the net is a live football. Stevie Dunn, 5th season with the Gladiators, and what a turnaround. 4-14 last year, 17-1 this season. See, Arizona fans have made the trip. They're looking for the three-peat. It has only been done once in AFL history by the Detroit Drive, 1988 through 1990. Cleveland has never hosted the ArenaBowl. And as you can see, Cleveland is excited about this opportunity.
It's a city that hasn't won a major professional sports championship in 50 years, Wolf. They're looking forward to this one.
Underway in Cleveland. An ugly kick to start, and that could be some nerves there for Aaron Petrie. Nick Davila, he is the steady hand, the Latin laser. They started 14-0, an AFL record. Team record for passing yards, touchdown passes. They have been dominant at home. The defending champs, but they have not had to win an ArenaBowl on the road with this core group.
That 9-0 record at home for the Arizona Rattlers tells part of the story because they lost 3 out of the last 4 regular season games, all on the road.
Kerry Reed will be in motion at the top of the screen. Davila going up top. Windsor's open, but too much on the throw. Anthony, take me through the impact players.
At the wide receiver position, Rod Windsor led the Arena Football League with 44 touchdown passes. Former Cleveland Brown playing his first game back in this city, but Willie McGinnis, the nose guard, was an all-arena performer this season. 30 total tackles for McGinnis, 9 sacks, most of any nose in the league.
There was a penalty on the play, so the ball moved up to the 10-yard line, and you mentioned guys who, part of their professional career with the Cleveland Browns. Nick Davila as an unrestricted free agent, first time with the Cleveland Browns back in 2007. Davila going up top, looking for Windsor, can't get to it. Joe Finnessy there step for step, and there is another flag back at the 6-yard line.
Offense number 75. Operations for the goal. The first down.
And flags on Cornelius Dixon. Watch him at the top of the screen. He's going to be matched up with the defensive end. In this situation, Luke Black. And as Black tries to spin out, Dixon just grabs a hold of him right under the collar, takes him down to the ground.
Cleveland defense up to the challenge. This is a Cleveland defense that's got a lot of no-name players, but they are so physical. And that's the one thing from each time I've seen them take away is how physical they are defensively.
They swarm to the football. This is a defense that hunts together, and they've done so throughout the season. Their head coach, Steve Tunn, defensive coordinator, Ron Zaleski, they've instilled a mentality in this Gladiators D.
Davila gets rid of it. It's Rod Windsor, and no one will catch Rod Windsor. Takes it for 6. Touchdown, Rattlers.
You don't want to find yourself one-on-one with Rod Windsor too often. They went man coverage on the initial snaps of the game. This time showed a zone look, and Joe Finnessy passed it off, but Rache Jackson not in position to be in that trail mode that you need to. They need to have more depth as the boundary corner there. Larache Jackson, a player who should know better, one of the veterans in this lineup. We've seen early in the game, Rod Windsor, target for Nick Davila.
Extra point is up, and it is good. The two-time defending champs trying to silence the crowd here at the Q. Nick Davila on target. Rod Windsor does the rest. Welcome back to Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. The Rattlers jump out to the early lead. It's 7-0. Shane Austin, the quarterback for the Cleveland Gladiators, on a stage unlike any he's ever been a part of. Early in the postseason, he struggled against Philadelphia, 5 interceptions, but his team overcame it. Then played brilliantly in the conference championship game. How will he react to his first ArenaBowl? We're about to find out. Larache Jackson on the return. And Jackson still on his feet. And he will be stopped at the 10-yard line by Kerry Reed and company. Austin, in his second year, played his college ball at the University of Hawaii, led his team to 17 regular season wins, an AFL record. 6 victories on the final play of the game. Outstanding touchdown to interception ratio. And let's take a look at the impact players.
On the offensive side of the football for the Cleveland Gladiators, Theron Lewis, 37 touchdowns, led the team in those grabs. He's the main deep play threat. And Antaj Hawthorne, the other nose guard in this lineup, 5.5 sacks in the regular season, as dominant as any player at his position I've ever seen.
Austin looking for Taylor. Taylor goes up and holds on to a great catch. Colin Taylor, the 4-year man who played college ball not far from here at Indiana University.
Colin Taylor has an Iron Man mentality. Even before he got to the Arena Football League, the boards don't scare him because his former Hoosier played safety in college, played wide receiver in Bloomington, Indiana, and he's been one of the main cogs in the turnaround here for the Gladiators.
Ball at midfield, 1st and 10. Lewis may have been offside. Austin's looking for Lewis, and no touchdown. They're going to blow this play dead. It appeared that Lewis was offsides.
Offside. Up to first 10 penalty. The 2 first down.
Anthony, talk about the timing there, because you want to hike the football exactly as that receiver's at full speed at the line of scrimmage.
It's so difficult to do as a quarterback. You're trying to see the receiver coming in that high motion out of your periphery, and it's up to you as the QB to make sure that that ball gets snapped right at the precise time that he's crossing the line of scrimmage. And check out Coach Steve Tunn here. He's thinking this should have been 6. He's thinking the ball should have been in the end zone. Talked about Theron Lewis being their main deep play threat.
Another flag comes in, and the fans not particularly pleased here in the early going.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. It's still sound.
Cleveland going the wrong direction here on their opening offensive series. But the beauty of arena football, it only takes one play to score.
It is still 1st down here, even though it's 1st in Akron right now. But Shane Austin, I think you still have an opportunity to here to go 3-step, depending on what the coverage dictates.
Austin gets Redmond on target. Lewis makes the catch and wrapped up at the 22-yard line. One of the perks we have in arena football is the ability to hear what's happening on the field with live audio. So we'll take a listen to the head coach with his quarterback, Shane Austin.
Let's go right zoom 30 sales.
Right zoom 33 sail. I want to push right away. 33.
Sail route. First read will come to the field side. Combo opportunity here on levels for the wide receivers.
Austin throws. Goodman the catch. It's going to be 1st and goal, Gladiators.
Dominic Goodman's such a great story because he's been through the lows and highs with this organization. He'll come in high motion on the sail route, ends up breaking it into a corner. So you've got one receiver in Colin Taylor short, corner route for Goodman on the outside, and probably the most reliable pair of hands in the AFL. You can throw the football anywhere near the cage of Dominic Goodman, and he'll bring it in.
Goodman led the AFL in the regular season with 156 receptions. Austin looking for Taylor, and Taylor didn't have a chance to get his hands on that one. And let's take a listen again to Stevie Tunn with Shane Austin.
Hey, Not real tight, but tighter.
Tight left, wide loop, 50 sails, he reached.
Tight left, wide loop, 50 sails, Z-read on 101.
Now you see here on the opposing hash from where they ran the previous sail concept, this one on the corner, an opportunity for a touchdown grab.
Go! Touch!
Austin throws, and Taylor cannot make the catch. Now it's 3rd and goal. Said, one of the great quarterbacks who have ever played. What are you seeing down there at field level?
Right there, they had an opportunity to hit Goodman. He called the Z read. Goodman's the Z. He had a chance to hit him on the hot, creeping in the end zone. Arizona fell off of him in coverage. They had a chance to hit him, and he missed it. Big opportunity missed there, because that was a walk-in touchdown for Goodman.
It said so far, do you see Shane Austin staying with his first read too long, or is he getting it out on time?
No, he's taking his 5, getting the ball out. He's executing the game plan. That's a tough one. He just missed it.
3rd and goal. Austin. Taylor can't come up with it, and he hits the backboards hard. 4th down coming up, and it is rare for a team to attempt a field goal. We'll have to see what Stevie Tunn wants to do.
And this was an accurate pass from Shane Austin, even though he was under duress. This is a play that's kind of awkward for wide receivers because Colin Taylor has to decide, does he underhand it or does he flip the hands over to make the grab? Couldn't quite adjust to the football. Accurate pass from Austin. Colin Taylor has to make that play.
Austin wants him to get up to the line of scrimmage. 3 straight incompletions. This is the one that counts. 4th down. Austin, and it's picked off. It's Kerry Reed. And Kerry Reed gets by Austin. He will take it for the touchdown. His head coach runs the whole way with him as the former Michigan State Spartan gives Arizona a 13-0 lead.
Kerry Reed, one of the last remaining cogs to the Iron Man game. A 2-way target. Watch him here from the jack position. And as he works towards the field side, just creeps over there late, not yet in the vision, and then makes the play. Kerry Reed with his great hands, as you'll see from the jack position, because a very effective wide receiver. Kevin Guy, the head coach, calls plays on both sides of the football, both offensively and defensively.
Ratanamorn connects on the extra point, and Arizona leads 14-0. But Cleveland's called the Cardiac Kids for a reason. They seem to always put themselves in a hole. We'll see how they react when we come back. The 2-time defending champs lead early 14-0 over the Cleveland Gladiators. ESPN's coverage of high school football continues tomorrow. First at noon on ESPN2, Oakland, Tennessee versus Blackman, Tennessee. Then at 3 on ESPN, Dwyer, Florida and American Heritage, Florida. Part of the 2014 Geico High School Kickoff game, also available live on Watch ESPN. Arizona to kick it off. One thing we know for sure, Anthony, is that Cleveland is not unaccustomed to being in this position.
We're thinking the same thing, partner. They've been here time and time again throughout the regular season. Different animal in the ArenaBowl.
Jackson plays at Cleveland. And Jackson hit by Tyson Poots and stopped at the 10-yard line.
My thought on the interception here, Shane Austin, look at him. A quarterback not statuesque in the pocket. He's got all these big defensive linemen and even the offensive linemen muddying the vision. So Kerry Reed essentially hides through the vision. Shane Austin doesn't have a visual window to see Kerry Reed, and after the interception, his coach Kevin Guy escorted him all the way down the field.
Kevin Guy showing he's still got some wheels there.
Former defensive back. One of the outstanding coaches, but was also a quality player in the AFL, New Jersey Red Dogs.
1st and 10. Austin gets it to Taylor. Let's check in with J.B. Long.
Nick Davila getting a chance to watch as your defense does the work. Kerry Reed, the ultimate Iron Man. What was your view on that pick 6?
Well, you know, he just made an outstanding play on the watching the quarterback's eyes, and you know, he's a true Iron Man. And he's a great player.
How important for you to set the tone offensively on that first drive?
You know, we just wanted to come out and establish, you know, getting the completions and trying to get a touchdown.
Ari, all yours.
Thank you, JB. Colin Taylor cannot go anywhere. Well defended by this Arizona defense. Talk about the pressure of not having been in an Arena Bowl and dealing with this atmosphere.
For Shane Austin, his first year as a full-time starter, played some with the Pittsburgh Power last season, and you look back to his collegiate career, had some nice numbers at Hawaii, but only started a few games for the Warriors in his career. We saw how he reacted through 5 interceptions during the quarterfinal round, and so Stevie Tunn, his head coach, normally mild-mannered, needs to make sure he keeps his young quarterback settled down.
They got the play clock reset, so plenty of time for Cleveland to get to the line of scrimmage. And Arizona has effectively, for the moment, taken the crowd out of the game. Not a single seat available here at the Q in Cleveland. Austin's in trouble, stays on his feet, and then Cliff Dukes brings him down. No sack, a pickup of just over a yard. Now let's bring in Sid.
Hey, thanks, Art. Talking about young guys playing in a big game. I just remember taking myself back to the '94 championship year. That was my first year starting. I was all over the place, erratic. Coach White had to settle me down time and time again. And you could see Stevie Tunn doing the same thing. Shane Austin is a cool customer. He won't get rattled no matter what happens. He just continues to play football out here.
Third down. Austin throws, Goodman makes the catch and has enough for a Cleveland first down.
What impresses me most about this throw is that Shane Austin has to throw out of a tunnel. He's got big players in his face. Austin only 6 foot tall. Not only does he not have the ability to find a window here, but he's got the pass rush not allowing him to finish his throwing motion, still able to put enough mustard on the ball to get an accurate pass to Goodman.
Shane Austin this season, second team All-Arena, quarterback rating just under 118. And he gets hit hard on the throw. Ball's up for grabs, and that's going to be a flag on Arizona. Taylor, the intended target, and Kellum had no idea how the ball came out. Couldn't help himself, runs into the receiver.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. Third penalty. Automatic first down.
I've been impressed with the pass rush from the Arizona Rattlers early in this game. They use a lot of power rushing, and Austin, normally very evasive, but the way that Arizona closes the edges down, he can't escape. And then in that position, Jeremy Kellum, who's played both jack linebacker and defensive back, working back in the secondary here, not able to react, needs to get those eyes turned around to play the football in flight.
Cleveland struggled in the red zone last trip, throwing a pick on fourth down. And that has broken up Marquise Floyd at the last possible moment. The 34-year-old vet, Marquise Floyd, arguably had the best season of his career, led the league with 13 interceptions.
And this is an outstanding play from Marquise Floyd because the timing of this pass was impressive from Shane Austin. Threw it to a great spot for Theron Lewis to come up with it, but at the last second, watch the right hand from Marquise Floyd, one of the all-time greats, coming up with the deflection.
Marquise Floyd spent time in the NFL with the Seahawks, the Browns, and the Cowboys. Still playing DB at 34. That is impressive. Second and goal. Austin Taylor's got it. Gladiators on the board.
As Colin Taylor works through the secondary, watch him take the time. He's such a patient route runner. And Shane Austin, this is a situation where protection holds up just long enough. And as Colin Taylor whips his eyes around, the back shoulder throw, spacing in the secondary was pretty good. But a pass that accurate can beat the coverage every time.
Aaron Petrie played college football not too far from here for the Ohio State Buckeyes in Columbus. On for the extra point attempt. Keep in mind those goalposts just 9 feet wide. He pushes it to the right. Extra points or no gimmies. We know in the NFL they experimented the first 2 weeks making the extra point a bit more challenging. In the AFL they're challenging each and every week. So the lead for Arizona is 14-6. But Colin Taylor gets the touchdown. Cleveland on the Arizona Rattlers, one of the great, if not the greatest franchises in AFL history. Tonight is their 9th Arena Bowl appearance. They have won 4 titles, including the last 2 Arena Bowls, both times defeating Philadelphia. And there they are, hoisting the James Foster Trophy that goes to the Arena Bowl champion. And Nick Davila and his team looking for a three-peat. It has only been done once before in AFL history. Cleveland to kick it off. Arkeith Brown waits deep for the Rattlers. Much better kickoff this time for Petrie. And it takes too long to go through the slack net, so it will be a touchback. For the latest news, scores, and inside information, log on to arenafootball.com. Whether you want to chat with fellow Arena League fans or just check on the very latest league standings or stats, arenafootball.com is where it's at.
You mentioned some of the ties that Nick Davila has, being a former Cleveland Brown. Also has ties on the opposing team. Dominic Goodman, a teammate of his at Cincinnati.
Right.
Played together in the International Bowl where Goodman was the MVP of that game. C.J. Cobb, another player on the opposing sideline that Davila played with at Cincinnati.
1st and 10 from the 5 for the Rattlers. Quick screen to Poots. And well defended by the Gladiators. Anthony, it's always hard to gauge things, and we're speculating, but it appeared at the outset of the game that you could tell that Arizona looked really comfortable in this setting, and Cleveland maybe a little bit nervous their first time in an Arena Bowl.
I definitely agree, Wolf. You look at having a young quarterback behind center, a defense where coverage is getting mixed up, a receiver like Rod Windsor, you have to make sure you have eyes on him every single time he's coming in high motion.
Rod Windsor in motion. Davila throws, Poots makes the catch, stays on his feet, and finally tackled at the 23-yard line. So we're going to go down live audio between Kevin Guy and Nick Davila.
Come on. This first quarter's closing out. All right, let's go. One. Let's go. Come on, come on, he's trying to play.
Now they want to run one more play, it appears, before the end of the quarter. They don't have to.
Yeah, never mind.
Change their mind. So 1 quarter complete in Cleveland. Arena Bowl 27. The 2-time defending champion Arizona Rattlers. A 14-6 lead after 1 quarter. Do not go anywhere. Net 10 Wireless. Arena Bowl 27 continues. Just about set for the start of the 2nd quarter. Arizona leading Cleveland 14-6 in Arena Bowl 27. Hello again, everyone. So glad that you're with us for this big game in Cleveland as they're looking for their first football title in this town in 50 years. Now, we've titled this Dynasty versus Destiny. Arizona's the 2-time champs, and Cleveland won 6 games this year on the final play of the game. What was your take on the first quarter?
Honestly, it played out like I expected. I talked to a lot of fans down at field level and conference rooms around the Q. I said, I think that because of the experience of the Arizona Rattlers, they're likely to come out and play a more effective ball game early than the Cleveland Gladiators, but we've seen it so many times throughout the season that the Gladiators have that sort of Gladiator spirit where we know they're going to work their way back into the game.
1st and 10. Davila to Poots, and Poots makes the catch. And he's still live. He can touch those boards until a defender is in contact with him against those boards. That's why the play was still alive for a moment for Poots. And let's listen in.
Now, X left. Yes. Okay. No. X left close. Double pull 1. Here we go. 3-step on 2. Z left close. Z zoom. Double pull 1 on 2. Hey, watch the eyes. Yeah.
Middle safety position, Dominic Jones, his spacing will be key. 2 post routes coming at him.
Davila throws, Chris Jackson's got it. Touchdown Rattlers. The veteran Chris Jackson came out of retirement. It had been 3 years since he last played in the 2011 season. Rejoined the Rattlers for this playoff run, and Jackson, the 2-time Offensive Player of the Year in the AFL, gets the touchdown. Rattanamore, the extra point is good.
Dominic Jones playing in the middle. You'll see him appear on your screen as the high motion comes at him. The spacing with that post route coming at him from Chris Jackson, who's always had such a pretty release when he comes in high motion, but Jones is so deep as Jackson comes at him. The spacing doesn't allow him to react to the football in time. He's so deep into the end zone, so deep where you don't want to pedal in the paint down there in the red zone. And that, I would say, is one of the knocks on Jones playing the middle, is that he's so deep so consistently because he doesn't want people running by him.
The 2014 AFL MVP was won in a landslide by Nick Davila. And how about these numbers in ArenaBowl 27 to start? 6 for 6, 90 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The Latin Laser has no fear. It doesn't matter the stage. He actually seems to play best in the bigger games.
And with those 90 yards, Nick Davila now the all-time leading passer in ArenaBowl history.
21-6 the score. Larache Jackson waiting for a chance at a return. Jackson plays it high off the net. And Jackson, there is a flag down. And Jackson works extremely hard to get up to the 11-yard line. But let's check on the flag. It was dropped at the 3-yard line.
During the return, blocking the back, receiving team number 43. At distance to the goal, first down.
Monday Night Football. Cardinals at 10:20. Both games also available on Watch ESPN. Colin Taylor, the catch, forced out of bounds at the 5, and a flag back inside the 1-yard line.
Personal foul, chop block, offense number 79. At distance to the goal, repeat first down.
And Kid O'Brien was on Big Ant's Brute Squad, as we named it during the regular season. Here blocking the edge. They go with slide protection, and as the nose is engaged with the center, that edge blocker not allowed to step down and block him low. You can combo block, can't take him low like that. Kid O'Brien, always known as a bit of a chippy player, a guy who plays through the echo of the whistle.
Tough spot here for Austin, and he's in trouble, and he will go down. Safety for the Arizona Rattlers. That is a young quarterback mistake. You gotta get rid of the football. So it's 2 points, and Arizona gets the ball back. That is a huge moment in tonight's game.
Starts right here as Cliff Dukes, the former defensive lineman of the year in the Arena Football League, just baptizes Kid O'Brien, who picked up the penalty on the previous snap. Dukes doesn't finish the play on his own, but then gets a little help from his friends to bring down the quarterback for a safety. Huge turn of events here. Now a 2-score game turns into a game where Cleveland now has to make up multiple possessions because Arizona not only gets the points, but will get the ball back.
Anthony, I think it's fair to say that the safety hurts a team more in arena football than it does in the outdoor game.
Without a doubt. I think in the arena football game, because points and touchdowns are expected on every single possession offensively, to give up one of those possessions and then give the team the ball back yet again, I agree, it hurts you more in the arena game than it does outdoors.
23-6 to score, and give Cliff Dukes the credit there, as he was the one that set up the safety, though he didn't make the ultimate tackle.
Cliff Dukes was a MAC linebacker when he won Defensive Lineman of the Year. He's a great pass rusher back from that position. 35 starts for the Michigan State Spartans as a collegiate player. He's had an outstanding Arena Football League career.
Not a good kick that time for Petrie. So we take a break here in Cleveland, and the Arizona Rattlers showing why they're a dynasty in the Arena Football League. Great atmosphere before this game started, but the Rattlers doing all they can to silence the fans in Cleveland. Arizona 23, Cleveland 6. And Arizona has come out and set the tone. Let's check in with J.B. Long.
Cliff, walk us through that safety, another big defensive play for your unit.
It was the moment. I mean, It was a little anger in there because they chopped my boy. We had to go get him back.
2 weeks from tonight, an equally big night in your life. You'll be getting married to your fiancée, Justine, in Arizona. What are you more nervous for, that night or tonight's Arena Bowl?
I want to marry her because she's the love of my life. So I'm a little nervous. I'm more nervous for this night, but I've played 100 football games, over 100 football games. So being a great husband is what I'm doing next.
Well said. You said she's done 7/8 of the planning, and you've taken orders on the other 1/8.
Yes, she's been great in this whole process. It's happened fast, and we're gonna go do it. You know.
Keep following that playlist.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff right there. I enjoyed
well
that.
said by Cliff Dukes.
Yeah. Happy wife, happy life, right? And he knows it even before he gets married. He's already got the playbook.
I speak from experience. Wives have a way of training you well.
Well, this Cleveland defense really needs a stop, Anthony, because Arizona is not like any team they've faced. They've been able to come back against everybody else. That's why they're called the Cardiac Kids. This Rattler team and Kevin Guy, they always seem to have their foot on the pedal. They never relent. They don't just want to win, they want to dominate.
They've been able to do it over the last 4 seasons. They've been the dominant team in the AFL. Not sure they've ever faced a beast like this Gladiators heart.
3rd down, Davila all day to throw. It gets it to Ron Windsor. Sid Bonner, you were the franchise star quarterback for the Arizona Rattlers. You've watched very closely Nick Davila become the new age star franchise quarterback. Why do you think he's been so successful with this team?
I think it's because his ability to process information, Ari, faster than anyone else that does it. I mean, he can see what's happening. He has an understanding for what he's doing, and that's what quarterbacks are, processors of information. Nick Davila does it better than anybody, and oh yeah, he does have the laser on him.
Davila throws, caught, Tyson Pooch, touchdown Rattlers.
They decided not to bring the MAC linebacker, trying to get in the throwing window. You see there, jumping into the face of Nick Davila. But Davila does such a great job just getting it over the second level of the defense, and the ball just drops down. The trajectory of the football is so key with the release point of a quarterback to have that rise and then still accurately drop it right in the hands of Tyson Pooch.
Arizona good on the extra point. It's 30-6. And Nick Davila, you see, this is his team. He is fired up, and rightfully so. The Latin Laser having a real good time right now in Cleveland. All right, let's recap what's happened so far. Ron Windsor, opening touchdown of the game. The former Cleveland Browns not going to be touched here. Shane Austin picked off by Kerry Reed. And Kerry Reed runs alongside his head coach for the touchdown. Then Shane Austin. Cleveland gets the touchdown. Taylor. And Arizona comes roaring back. Chris Jackson, the veteran. And this one really hurt. The safety, 2 points for the Rattlers, leads to another Rattler offensive possession. And Tyson Pooch, the touchdown.
Arizona has the type of pass rush that affects a quarterback like Shane Austin more than any other because they're all power rushers up front. Big physical guys who collapse the pocket. You don't see a lot of running lanes for Austin.
No chance of a return. And before you're thinking at home, this is Seattle-Denver Super Bowl and there's no chance for a comeback. Look at these moments from the Cleveland season. These were all the final play of the game, off the net. They win at Spokane. Field goal to win it. Aaron Petrie against the Philadelphia Soul. Final play of the game. Lewis underneath the pile. Touchdown to win the game.
17 in that game, Wolf.
And here the ultimate Hail Mary. Knocked right into the hands of Dominic Goodman. So this is a Cleveland team that has belief no matter what the score says at whatever time of the game it is. And there's a miscue there. Tom Gilson unable to make the catch. And here is a recap of their 6 wins that came on the final play of the game. The most recent one, quarterfinal playoff game against Philadelphia.
That was a game. We were there. We called it. The Cleveland Gladiators found a way again. 36-yard field goal from Aaron Petrie that put them into the American Conference Championship game.
Austin steps up, throws, and that's almost picked off. Ball was at the feet of Jeremy Kellum. Let's see what the tone is right now between Stevie Tunn, who does not have a tendency to overreact, with his quarterback.
Left close, yo-yo. 50 crib under. Hurry up.
Left close, yo-yo, 50 crib under on 101.
Jeremy Kellum will be to the field side here, matched up with Deron Lewis.
Austin, and that is picked off. Jeremy Kellum with the interception. The Arizona defense does it again.
Deron Lewis was open on this play, Wolf, but again, the collapse of the pocket, the pass rush, knocking offensive blockers back into the lap of Shane Austin. Just watch the bull rush that puts bodies into the lap of Austin as a QB. Jason Jones from the MAC position as Tyree Glasper brings it downhill. That double clutch gives Jeremy Kellum the opportunity to react to the field side throw. That's a mistake you never want to make as a quarterback, because the space that can be closed by a defensive back in the AFL, especially someone with the physical capabilities of Jeremy Kellum.
Cleveland during the regular season plus 16 in turnover margin. They're already down 2 turnovers in tonight's game. And Davila throws, and that's broken up nicely by Dominic Jones. And let's go to Sid Bonner.
Hey, Ari, you know, looking at Shane's demeanor, he still looks calm. He's looking exactly the same way, still trying to figure some things out. And Anthony, you talked about that pocket pressure right there. That is exactly what caused that interception. He reloaded, which you couldn't do. You're on a 3rd down. You've got another down. Throw it away, throw it out of bounds. Give yourself a chance to play on 4th down.
Davila throws, Windsor makes the catch, and Windsor, the stiff arm, inside the 18-yard line. And Rod Windsor is a physical presence, Anthony. 6'2", 205 pounds. And this is a guy, when you're down on the field, you look at him and say, that's a man's man.
We got to keep in mind that Maurice Purifier, who's really even a bigger physical beast of a wide receiver than Windsor, not in the lineup. And so even added pressure on the receiver who led the Arena Football League this year with 44 regular season touchdown grabs.
Rod Windsor played for the Cleveland Browns during the 2011 and 2012 seasons. 3rd down, Donovan, the touch pass. Kerry Reed's got it. 1st and goal coming up.
Right short, 6 down 4. We're at the 6. No. We're going to run in the red zone. All right, here we go. Let's go left. Let's go toss, okay? Let's go left Z zoom, 27 toss. Here we go. Come on, left Z zoom, 27 toss. All right, hurry up!
There is no coach-quarterback relationship that has more trust than Guy and Davila. It's Singleton on the carry and no place to go. Jones makes the tackle. Let's get into that a little bit more, because Kevin Guy and Nick Davila have had so much success together. You'll regularly hear Coach ask his quarterback, what is he like in that situation? And that's not all that common in the AFL.
When you got 2 guys who've won championships together, and especially coaching Kevin Guy, who's built this trust over years, and one of the things the coach Guy talked to us about before the game is the level of maturity that he's seen in Nick Davila, especially over the last 2 seasons. That increases the trust that much more.
Davila, and Kerry Reed cannot get to that one, and Davila didn't have much room to work with it. And let's get into the red zone and the challenges offensively. Now, these end zones are square, but they're still boarded all the way around. So talk about the challenges of scoring in the red zone, Anthony.
Well, it gives you added defenders on each side of the field. And so that's where Dominic Jones, we've seen him start to creep towards the line of scrimmage a little bit more, especially down here in the red zone, where you should see number 2 in the black jersey. Made the mistake of pedaling in the paint last time they were down here.
Davila throws. Kerry Reed's got it. Touchdown, Rattlers. Nick Davila's 4th touchdown pass of the first half, and it's 36-6.
Dominic Jones didn't pedal in the paint this time, but also was not able to impede the progress of Kerry Reed. As Reed comes in motion, Dominic Jones, one of the more physical defensive backs you'll ever see, just gives up the release right there at the line of scrimmage. Great move from Kerry Reed. Arm over action. Davila sees it immediately, delivers a teardrop to the former Spartan.
70-75.
For people that have been fans of the AFL going back to the Ironman days, Kerry Reed is a great reminder of why Ironman football was so popular. Seeing him score a touchdown defensively on a 45-yard pick and taking it back for the touchdown, and then they're scoring on the offensive side of the ball. One of the most complete players in the AFL, number 15, Kerry Reed. Nick Davila, 12 of 15, 144 yards, and that was his 4th touchdown of the night. The Little League World Series presented by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Stevie Dunn in a tough spot. We know they're the cardiac kids. What do you do right now if you're Stevie Dunn to get your team some confidence?
Well, there's no 31-point play available, so he's got to just get his offense into a schedule. The kick return here from Dominic Jones, who's been a big-time kick returner at different points, had 2 weeks to rest a hamstring injury, need a big kick return for field position, and then just get an offense on schedule.
Jones plays it off the bounce. And Jones tried to come out, cannot get out. No safety there. It's a touchback. As long as he doesn't come out of the end zone and then go back into it. Shane Austin not off to a good start. Here, both the interceptions. First one, this is a 4th down play right into the hands of Kerry Reed. And the former Michigan State Spartan does the rest, goes 45 yards. And this is one where he tried to reboot that right arm. Took too much time. And here's the safety. Cliff Dukes brings the initial pressure. And Tyree Glasper and Marcus Pittman combined for the safety, and there are the numbers. And if you're going to beat Arizona, he's going to have to be a whole lot better than that the rest of the way.
Go!
Austin, and Lewis drops it. Said, you're down at field level. What's going on with Cleveland? Why does it seem like everything's going the wrong way?
I kind of feel like they've gotten away from what they normally do, which is just play ball. They're trying way too hard. And, you know, back in 2002, I found myself in this exact predicament where San Jose just stomped on us. We couldn't do anything right. We lost 52-14. But this is a team that's used to playing from behind. We were not. They just need to settle in.
Austin to throw. Lewis this time makes the catch. Very nice throw that time from Shane Austin.
The timing is on, the accuracy purely on point. Shane Austin just takes his 3rd step, gets the football out precisely when he wants to. No double clutch, no pass rush in his face. That's a passing game and an offensive line working in tandem.
Cleveland trying to pick up the tempo, and it's picked off. It's Jeremy Kellum again, and then there's going to be a flag on Cleveland as Taylor got Kellum in the face mask to bring him down. 3 first-half interceptions for quarterback Shane Austin.
Jeremy Kellum out of Middle Tennessee State led this team in tackles this season, and although Shane Austin didn't double clutch this ball, but you'll see as Colin Taylor works out on the corner, Jeremy Kellum just able to undercut the route. He's not threatened at all by the speed of Colin Taylor. And then after the tackle, as Colin Taylor brings him down, he's got his hands around the face mask. That brings the flag and the personal foul on the back end.
So personal foul on Taylor, the ball at midfield, and here comes Nick Davila, who's been virtually perfect. 12 of 15, 144 yards and 4 touchdowns. Shane Austin, on the other hand, 8 for 18, 94 yards, just 1 touchdown and 3 interceptions. And Nick Davila throws an interception. Alvin Ray Jackson. So a rare miscue from Nick Davila.
Alvin Ray Jackson just joined the football team in the latter portion of the season after Mario Norman, who had 12 interceptions, left the team to join the Baltimore Ravens. Alvin Ray Jackson led the Arena Football League in interceptions 2 seasons ago with 14. He's known to make plays. Allowed to get that deep after the ball is in flight. Normally the jack linebacker has to stay within that 5-yard box, but as soon as the ball leaves the hands of the quarterback, he can drop deeper. Alvin Ray Jackson takes advantage of the flight of the pass from Davila.
Alvin Ray Jackson played that perfectly. They set up the screen. Jason Jones and the big fella gets into Rattler territory.
Jason Jones has had a long night so far in pass protection. He's not normally the full-time fullback, but this is what Cleveland has to do. Find ways to slow down that Rattlers pass rush. Get big athletes like Jason Jones working over those DBs.
1st and 10.
Go! What?
Austin with time, looking for Lewis, can't get to it.
As we talked to Stevie Tunn before the game, he said he expected a lot of man coverage from Arizona. We've seen that throughout tonight's game, but they haven't been able to take advantage of it because that Rattlers pass rush is not allowing Shane Austin the time to be comfortable in the pocket, and Austin quite often hasn't been delivering the football on time.
We have come to the 1-minute warning. So far, the 2-time defending champs in control. Will explain the one. Been a long, long time. 1964 Cleveland Browns, the champions of professional football. Look at Jim Brown. It was a great moment for Cleveland, but boy, it's been a long drought. The last title coming back in 1964 in both hockey and football. There's lots of reason for optimism in this city as a result of the return of LeBron James. The formal announcement that Kevin Love is now a part of the Cavaliers. They've got the excitement with the Cleveland Browns, Brian Hoyer, Johnny Manziel. But the Gladiators are the ones first up and a chance, and there's still a lot of football to go. But they're hoping to add a banner here to the queue.
We sense the energy in this building before the game. 19,000 people here hoping this team can make a comeback.
Flags are down. Austin looking for Goodman, and Goodman cannot get to it. His foot got tangled there with Keith Brown.
We talked to Steve Tunn before the game about the hard count of Shane Austin and how they've worked with him to try to improve that. Good to hear a young quarterback utilizing the hard count, got the defensive line to jump off sides.
Offside. Defense, number 94. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
That goes against Tyree Glasper, one of the best MAC linebackers. And by MAC linebacker, he's the one who most of the time will rush the quarterback. Some teams elect to keep their MAC in protection to get his hands up to get into the vision of the quarterback. But most teams, most of the time, rush the quarterback with the MAC linebacker. They keep it on the ground with Jason Jones. And Jones gets to the 15-yard line. Now here in the final minute, the timing rules completely changed. They're very much like college football. Any play that results in any completion, the clock stops. A player can give themselves up. If they get to the sideline, they can just reach the ball over the boards. That signifies to the official that they've given themselves up, and the clock will stop. So managing the final minute is all about possessions, Anthony.
And Stevie Tunn is a guy who has his own philosophy for how he manages the clock in the final minute of each half. A lot of AFL coaches really try to work the clock down. We see Cleveland doing that now.
Coming up at the half, do not go anywhere. Little League U.S. Championship. Big news for the Packers, and it's not good news. And the Kevin Love trade to the Cavs is official. Austin looking for Lewis. Can't hold on. Lewis had a magnificent regular season. 37 receiving touchdowns.
I'd really like to see Theron Lewis go up and attack this ball with his hands. He allows it to get into his body. Then he's collisioned by the defensive back, and Shane Austin knew he threw a ball that could have meant touchdown.
Lewis has got to make that catch. 4th down. Lewis is open, has a step, and the football. Touchdown, Gladiators. Anthony, you gotta love the fact that this arena is not acting like it's 37-12. It's like they said something's about to happen.
They've been here with this football team every step of the way throughout this roller coaster ride.
Extra point is up, and it is good. 37-13. And here comes the yes chant.
Yes, 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 yes.
This yes chant has infiltrated the periphery of the sports scene. Now let's watch Tyree Lewis, who dropped a touchdown pass on the previous drive. Outstanding release. And as he works his way towards the end zone, allows the ball into his body again, but this time able to hang on. Well-thrown football from Shane Austin, and now the Cleveland Gladiators feel like this could be the play that brings a bit of life.
Let's check in with JB, who's with Shane Austin.
Well, Shane, what was the difference on that drive? What adjustment did you make?
It's no adjustments, just a matter of us executing. And we've been shooting ourselves in the foot. That's all it is. Got to give them credit. They're playing a great game, but there's still a lot of game left.
This is not a situation you want to be in, but is it a situation you have been in throughout this season? Is there still belief on this bench?
Yeah, you never want to put yourself in this situation, but definitely always got to believe there's still a lot of time left on this clock.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, JB. Thank you, Shane. Onside kick could be coming here, and it is. And Tyson Poots, sure-handed receiver, collects it at the 10-yard line. Sid, what do you have for us?
All right, the mood on the Arizona sideline is business as usual. They just gave up a score. They were even doing the yes chant with some of the Cleveland players. They're excited to be in the position they're in, and they're playing hard, and they plan on trying to finish this game out.
Saw the onside kick there from Cleveland, hoping that with 36 seconds left, they can come up with a red zone stop. Even if they don't, could be time remaining for the Gladiators to get one more possession.
Davila with time, throws, Rod Windsor, touchdown Rattlers. One thing they did, though, is they left a lot of time on the clock for Cleveland. I thought maybe Arizona would run it once or twice to take time off the clock before going to the end zone.
Well, Larache Jackson just looks confused. He looks befuddled. And Dominic Jones has been trying to communicate with the secondary throughout the half. We've seen Rod Windsor scot-free, wide open on 4 different occasions in this first half. It's a former NFL player who led the Arena Football League with 44 touchdowns, and somehow this Cleveland secondary is nowhere close.
Rotanamorn connects on the extra point. 44-13.
We referenced the time there, Wolf.
Yep.
I mean, it does allow Cleveland now, as we were talking about from the onside kick, the opportunity to get the football back. And now JB Long down at field level with Rod Windsor.
Well, just when it looks like Cleveland's about to get its sea legs, you answer right back. How big was that drive?
Oh, it was big. You know, we're just trying to keep our foot on the gas pedal and just go and knock them out, because we know they got the opportunity, the chance to come back. So we want to just go and knock them out the game.
Is that a message your head coach delivered to you before the game, that for all Cleveland's comebacks, no one has put them away for good?
Yeah, that's all he's been preaching since the last playoff game. Cleveland able to fight back, so we just need to come out and knock them out and go and put them away.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
And that is a guy who is a perfect example of what Kevin Guy wants in a player. I mean, he looks like a man on a mission. Now, Cleveland is a team that has almost lost a bunch of times. Has won, as we've said, 6 times on the final play. They only lost 1 game this year to the Pittsburgh Power, and they had won 10 straight coming into this game.
And let's spin this situation forward. Cleveland with the football now. If they can be the last one with the football here at the first half, they will also get it at the start of the third quarter.
Jones on the return. Looks to cut it back. And there is a flag way back at the 8-yard line.
Holding, receiving team number 17. Happiness instead of goal. First down.
And here is the lone loss. Tommy Grady and the Pittsburgh Power. And Cleveland and Pittsburgh are rivals in everything. And you can include arena football in that. And Pittsburgh was more than happy to spoil the perfect season.
It's a game. Cleveland ended up losing to Pittsburgh for 48-34. 14-point loss. The game that they trailed by their most, the widest margin, had a 20-point deficit at one point. This will most certainly be the biggest comeback of the season, the largest comeback in arena football history if they can make it happen.
And Lewis did not expect the football, and a late flag comes in.
It's like it'll be on the fullback, Jason Jones.
Personal foul. Leg whip. Offense number 45. Happiness instead of goal. Repeat first down.
Cliff Dukes is not afraid to make an inside move, but as he does with Jason Jones from the fullback position, ends up working outside after faking inside on Jones, and Jason Jones whips the leg around. Tripping, leg whip, same call that's called in the outdoor game. It's called here in the arena game.
And remember, Cliff Duke said on the safety it was because they had chopped Antaj Hawthorne the play before. These are not a group of guys that you want to get angry. Austin gets it to Lewis. And Lewis is tackled. He's just shy of the first down. Now the clock is ticking. They got to use a timeout here. And they do. Let's take a listen to our live audio downstairs. It's going to be a 30-second timeout. Let's see what Coach Tone wants to do.
Left wax, 50, gin. Left wax. Hold up. Hey, we got left wax, 50 gin. Run hard, baby, run hard. Tom, push that depth, hit it hard. Left wax, 50 gin. I want on it.
You have the combination of a go, so basically a 9 route, also an in coming towards the same side of the field.
Austin looking for Lewis, and too much on the throw. Lewis got behind the defense there, a rare mistake for Arizona, especially given the time and situation.
Really where Theron Lewis is at his best, just allowing him to use those long strides, working his way on the go route, up the wall. Cedric Bonner missed opportunity there for Cleveland.
Absolutely, and you see that's the design of that gin route. You got the in coming from the middle receiver. The backside corner, Floyd, stared it down just a bit too long, left Lewis open. You just got to put a little more air on the ball.
Austin gets it to Gilson, and Gilson has the first down. 4.4 seconds to go. Certainly time for 2 plays if they want to get a quick, maybe 5 to 7 yard play and get out of bounds.
Especially with still having a timeout remaining, and so even if you pick up a chunk of yardage where you're not near the walls to take yourself out of bounds, you can get a quick completion just to get a little more yardage, and then you can attempt the net ball. And we just watched that Cleveland has had success with the net ball earlier in the season against Spokane.
And Austin stumbles to the ground and just tries to throw it up, and that will be the end of the first half. So the Arizona Rattlers have come in and dominated the first 30 minutes. They will head to the locker room with a 44-13 lead over the Cleveland Gladiators. Let's go downstairs to Sid, who's with Kevin Guy.
With the running master guys, a great half by your guys, intense, energy level up. What's going to be the message at the halftime?
Well, we got 30 more minutes. We're playing for a championship, okay? And we talked about being the more physical team. We talked about being relentless, okay? And we need to finish, and that's what we're about to do.
Going into the halftime, what are you going to be worried about? Anything that this team could do to come back in this game? You've seen all their fairy tale endings throughout the season. What's your message?
The message has been for the last 2 weeks, okay, is the teams that they played, let them back in the game. We got to keep our foot on the gas pedal and close them out.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Guys?
That is one coach on a mission, trying to make Arena Football League history. Lots of good stuff coming at the half. Do not go anywhere. Arena Bowl 27 continues.
You can't think about anything else. Don't think about anything else but the one play at a time. You can't. Think about one play at a time. We're going to have 20, 30 plays in the second half. Everybody, one play at a time, one series at a time. We're going to get that ball 5 times. That's 5 touchdowns. We need stops. But you can't think about it unless you think about that one play. Win that play, and then we go to the next play. There's no other way we can do it. No other way we can do it.
Stevie Dunn trying to rally the troops at the half with his team trailing 44-13. Now, like everybody else out there, alongside Anthony Herron, we were hoping for a very close game. We had Dynasty versus Destiny. But what I think we're seeing is the Dynasty and the Arizona Rattlers trying to make a claim to go down as the greatest franchise in AFL history. And this collection, this core group, including Nick Davila, maybe the best team of all time.
You look at this stretch, this 4 years that they've played together. The one Arena Bowl lost 3 seasons ago to the Jacksonville Sharks. Last 2 Arena Bowl championships. And every phase of the Arizona Rattlers on the field collectively playing at as high a level as they played all season. We focus a lot on Nick Davila, but that defensive front from the Arizona Rattlers, pressuring the pocket with Shane Austin, their offensive line not allowing the defensive front, especially Willie McGinnis at the nose position, to put any pressure on Nick Davila. Wide receivers led by Rod Windsor. You look at every phase of the game, and Arizona executing at a high level.
Bigger, stronger, faster. That seems to be the theme for the Rattlers as we look at first half highlights. And this was the first touchdown of the game, and Rod Windsor just running away from people.
The physical matchups, part of the story, but then just the execution. There's a level of focus that Arizona seems to come into these huge games with that's unrivaled around the Arena Football League. I mean, I think you look at the 2 rosters, and there's no doubt Arizona may be the more talented roster, but Cleveland has always found a way throughout the season to execute in the key moments. But Arizona is a team that they just haven't seen, especially on a stage like this. The pass rush we talked about from the Rattlers, harassing Shane Austin throughout the first half, and Nick Davila just unmolested throughout the first half. He puts the ball on the spot there to Tyson Poots, and yet again here the teardrop over the top to Kerry Reed.
So the 2014 AFL MVP, as we see Cleveland gets a touchdown, but Nick Davila has been even better than advertised. Be the MVP, 5 first half touchdown passes. Just looks in such command of the offense, and a guy who is in total command of his offense was good old number 13, our man Sid Bonner, down on the field.
Hey, thanks, sorry. It's been a complete domination up front for the Arizona Rattlers. They've been able to impose their will on this gritty team from Cleveland, but you can't count these guys out. But they have not faced an opponent with as much experience and playoff time. When you've got those kind of plays in the playoff and you can turn it up a notch, talking about the Arizona front 4, it's going to be tough to get back in this game with that kind of pressure. Let's check in with JB.
Just spoke to Steve Tunn coming out of a very disappointed Cleveland locker room. He said, we have not executed on either side of the football. We still have a chance, but we will have to be perfect on every drive offensively and hope we get the number of the stops that we need defensively.
Thank you very much, JB. All right, Anthony, we're calling them the Cardiac Kids for a reason, winning 6 games on the final play of the game. This opening drive, it would seem critical if they want to have any hope to come back in the second half.
Defibrillator necessary
Yes.
at this point for the Cardiac Kids. And I think one thing that JB Long said, very important, focus on getting scores every time out. Focus on the amount of stops you need defense. Give them specifics that they need. It sounds like Steve Tunn did that in the locker room.
Steve Tunn said all the right things, but can they execute against the 2-time defending champs? Third quarter when we come back to Cleveland. 44-13, Arizona in front of Cleveland as we get set to start the third quarter. Net 10 Wireless Arena Bowl 27. And the Cleveland fans still believe in the Cardiac Kids. They'll get the football to start the third quarter. And Dominic Jones will not get a chance at a return, and we will look at first half stats. And no surprise, Anthony, the stats tell the story.
The passing yardage, not bad for Cleveland, but Shane Austin, throughout that first half, only completing 12 out of 26, 3 turnovers in the first half for Cleveland as well. Those 3 interceptions thrown by their QB, Shane Austin. But not all on Shane Austin. Pass protection has failed Austin early in this game. Really need to highlight the loss of fullback Chad Schofield, because as athletic as Jason Jones is at the fullback position, when you leave him out there the entire game in pass protection, he has struggled in the middle with Tyree Glasper.
Austin, Gilson can't come up with it with one hand. And Shane Austin now just 12 of 27 in the game. And this game is quarterback friendly. You're used to seeing numbers way over 50% for a quarterback.
Without a doubt, and that's not how you get a half started, by being off rhythm. Tom Gilson was running open. Shane Austin had enough protection. Steve Tunn told his team at the half, he talked to J.B. Long about it, we need to score every possession. They're going to need at least 4 stops somehow, or to get 4 possessions back from the Arizona Rattlers.
Austin, and that is broken up nicely. Jeremy Kellum already has 2 interceptions in the game. He had 27 passes defended during the regular season. Kellum had a brilliant 2014 season.
And let's watch Tyree Glasper work from the MAC linebacker position, because he doesn't always come up with a lot of sacks, but he's an excellent pass rusher, and he's one of the unheralded guys on the defensive side of the football. They've got defensive backs who get all-arena. Antosh Hawthorne, Cliff Dukes have gotten accolades throughout their career, but Tyree Glasper made Big Ant's Brute Squad because he brings it consistently, snap in and snap out.
Austin on 3rd down, scrambles, throws, incomplete. Goodman, the intended target. Arkeith Brown, the defender. 4th and long coming up for the Gladiators.
You see Shane Austin again leaving the pocket. We'll watch him evacuate as Cliff Dukes works his way up towards the wide side of the field. Just a nice arm wipe where he knocks both hands of the edge blocker down, and Shane Austin able to get out of harm's way, but not able to complete the pass.
4th down. On the season, they were very good on 4th down. 20 for 39, 51%. Lewis, the motion receiver. Austin almost lost the handle coming out from center. And it's broken up. Marquise Floyd. It's going to be Arizona football at the 5-yard line. And Arizona head coach Kevin Guy told us they got to keep their foot on the pedal, and the defense delivers in the opening series of the 3rd quarter.
Shane Austin barely able to hang on to the football as he takes the pull from center. Theron Lewis at the wide receiver position couldn't get a clean release, and then Antosh Hawthorne just lays heavy on Shane Austin, put all 350 pounds right on top of him.
The former Wisconsin Badger, that's a mismatch right there. Hawthorne picking up Shane Austin and putting that full body weight on him. 1st and goal. Singleton. Center of the sports world. Center of the sports world. A sellout crowd at Quicken Loans Arena. Duke said on the safety it was because they had chopped Antosh Hawthorne in the play before. These are not a group of guys that you want to get angry. Austin gets it to Lewis. And Lewis is tackled. He's just shy of the 1st down. Now the clock is ticking. They got to use a timeout here. And they do. Let's take a listen to our live audio downstairs. It's just going to be a 30-second timeout. Let's see what Coach Tunn wants to do.
Left wax, 50, Jim. Left wax.
44-13, Arizona in front of Cleveland as we get set to start the 3rd quarter. Net 10 Wireless ArenaBowl 27. And the Cleveland fans still believe in the Cardiac Kids. They'll get the football to start the 3rd quarter. And Dominic Jones will not get a chance at a return, and we will look at first half stats. And no surprise, Anthony, the stats tell the story.
The passing yardage, not bad for Cleveland, but Shane Austin throughout that first half only completing 12 out of 26, 3 turnovers in the first half for Cleveland as well. Those 3 interceptions thrown by their QB, Shane Austin. But not all on Shane Austin. Pass protection has failed Austin early in this game. Really need to highlight the loss of fullback Chad Schofield, because as athletic as Jason Jones is at the fullback position, when you leave him out there the entire game in pass protection, he has struggled in the middle with Tyree Glasper.
Austin, Gilson can't come up with it with one hand. And Shane Austin now just 12 of 27 in the game. And this game is quarterback friendly. You're used to seeing numbers way over 50% for a quarterback.
Without a doubt, and that's not how you get a half started, by being off rhythm. Tom Gilson was running open. Shane Austin had enough protection. Steve Tunn told his team at the half, he talked to J.B. Long about it, we need to score every possession. They're going to need at least 4 stops somehow, or to get 4 possessions back from the Arizona Rattlers.
Austin, and that is broken up nicely. Jeremy Kellum already has 2 interceptions in the game. He had 27 passes defended during the regular season. Kellum had a brilliant 2014 season.
And let's watch Tyree Glasper work from the MAC linebacker position, because he doesn't always come up with a lot of sacks, but he's an excellent pass rusher, and he's one of the unheralded guys on the defensive side of the football. They've got defensive backs who get All-Arena. Antosh Hawthorne, Cliff Dukes have gotten accolades throughout their career, but Tyree Glasper made Big Ant's Brute Squad because he brings it consistently, snap in and snap out.
Austin on 3rd down, scrambles, throws, incomplete. Goodman, the intended target. Arkeith Brown, the defender. 4th and long coming up for the Gladiators.
You see Shane Austin again leaving the pocket. We'll watch him evacuate as Cliff Dukes works his way up towards the wide side of the field. Just a nice arm wipe where he knocks both hands of the edge blocker down, and Shane Austin able to get out of harm's way, but not able to complete the pass.
4th down. On the season, they were very good on 4th down. 20 for 39, 51%. Lewis, the motion receiver. Austin almost lost the handle coming out from center. And it's broken up. Marquise Floyd. It's going to be Arizona football at the 5-yard line. And Arizona head coach Kevin Guy told us they got to keep their foot on the pedal, and the defense delivers in the opening series of the 3rd quarter.
Shane Austin barely able to hang on to the football as he takes the pull from center. Theron Lewis at the wide receiver position couldn't get a clean release, and then Antosh Hawthorne just lays heavy on Shane Austin, put all 350 pounds right on top of him.
The former Wisconsin Badger, that's a mismatch right there. Hawthorne picking up Shane Austin and putting that full body weight on him. 1st and goal, Singleton. And Singleton inside the 3. If you're just joining us, one of the perks of our coverage in the Arena Football League is the access to live audio on the field.
Terry, Rod, and Poose. All right, here we go. Let's go 911. Here we go. There we go. 3 steps, 300, right, wing zoom, 911. I'm right.
Here on the 3-yard line. Still have to take a quick pull here, but the 9 route, possible fade up top.
Davila doesn't like what he sees at first, and then Windsor can't hold on. It'll bring up 3rd down, and I guess, again, we will listen to coach and quarterback.
But he backed up. What do you want me to do? That's something. I got it. What means that's short.
I love the fire with those guys.
That's the bud. 3 option 9. Come on.
Have the option route coming as Rod Windsor motions to trips.
Davila looking, throws. Kerry Reed's got it. Touchdown, Rattlers.
The play took so long to develop, and Nick Davila, who noted during ArenaBowl Media Day, he certainly doesn't have the speed of Shane Austin getting outside the pocket, but able to buy time. You're going to watch him just keep his eyes down the field even as he works outside the protection, and then Kerry Reed just appears, and as soon as Reed made his way through the back of the end zone, Nick Davila saw him deliver the football.
Craig Ratanamorn on for the extra point attempt. Cleveland opening possession of the 3rd quarter. Cleveland was hoping to try to get back into this game. Instead, they go 4 and out, and the Rattlers take advantage of the great field position. Extra point is up and good. Now, the coach and quarterback were bickering a little bit, but then they get the touchdown, and look at them celebrate. Kevin Guy still looking like an athlete. Arizona rolling right now, 51-13. 51-13, Shane Austin and the Cardiac Kids have dug themselves a hole. A big hole, but they still believe. That's why they're the Cleveland Gladiators. They went 19-1 on the season. Net 10 Wireless ArenaBowl 27 here at Quicken Loans Arena in downtown Cleveland. Dominic Jones, former Minnesota Gopher, on the return. And Jones taken down by Keith Brown. Nice tackle at the 2-yard line. ESPN's coverage of high school football continues Sunday, first at noon on ESPN2, Oakland, Tennessee versus Blackman, Tennessee. Then at 3 on ESPN, Dwyer, Florida and American Heritage, Florida. Part of the 2014 Geico High School Football Kickoff. Games are also available live on Watch ESPN. First and 10 for the Gladiators from their own 2-yard line.
I think Shane Austin needs to find a way to feed the football to Dominic Goodman. He's the most reliable wide receiver he has.
Austin throws. Lewis with the catch. The stiff arm, and Keith Brown holds on. And let's check in with JB.
Shane Austin's pass is completed to Ferran Lewis.
With Nick Davila and without Maurice Purify again this weekend, how important has it been to have the likes of Reed and Jackson?
Well, you know, Purify is an outstanding receiver. Jackson's a veteran Hall of Famer, and Kerry Reed just makes plays on both sides of the ball, so they make my job really easy.
As much as Kevin Guy has been preaching, put the hammer down to get a stop and a score coming out of halftime. How crucial?
Yeah, we're going to keep the pedal to the metal, and defense is playing outstanding, so we got a lot of ball game left. We're going to keep fighting.
Thanks, Nick. Back upstairs.
I will say this, that Kevin Guy has got these guys to say all the right things. They have followed his lead. The message has been consistent for 2 weeks, and they're executing it tonight.
And they believe it, Ari. They've won a lot of football games together. Trust is so huge in professional sports, and when you buy in to what the coach has told you, it really emanates through the entire locker room, where all the teammates believe in what Kevin Guy has been telling them over the last 4 seasons, where they continue to make it to this stage.
Second and 10. Austin gets it to Lewis. Gain of 6 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Wolf, we did see one stretch in the first half, sort of late in the first quarter, where Cleveland tried to go a little bit of hurry up, even though the game hadn't really gotten out of hand yet at that point. We're not seeing that hurry up now, and I think part of it is because Steve Tunn hasn't seen his team execute offensively at a level where he thinks they can handle an up-tempo look. He's trying not to get his team even more out of whack than they are.
Austin throws. Goodman makes the catch and stopped at the 20. And we will take a listen to Stevie Tunn with his young quarterback, Shane Austin.
How about Ted? All right, we're T-Lou in the middle. All right, right wax, 50 Ted. Hey, go wax me. Right wax, 50 Ted. On 1-on-1, ready?
We'll see Ferran Lewis, number 6. Opportunity. We'll see if he come up with a 20-yard touchdown grab. He'll be one-on-one with Jeremy Kellum.
Austin, pressure's coming. Scrambles to his left, and it's picked off by Kerry Reed. The Rattlers' 4th interception of the game, and the 2nd for Kerry Reed.
The interception that Kerry Reed had in the first half, he was hiding from quarterback Shane Austin, whose vision was muddied by the defensive front. This just a bad ball from the young QB. Shane Austin, a playmaker throughout the regular season, but just meeting a monster in the 2-time defending champs.
We welcome you back to ArenaBowl 27 from the Q in Cleveland, Ohio, and the Commissioner Jerry Kurz joins me from the Arizona bench with a major announcement, a new member of the Arena football family coming to Las Vegas next year.
Absolutely. Want to confirm the rumor, probably a poorly kept secret, that Vince Neil has been awarded a team for Las Vegas for next season, and we're excited to be there with Vince Neil.
Maybe a battle of the bands coming out west with the Outlaws and the Kiss, gentlemen.
I like that, JB. We get the band, you know, they could first have the game, and then the bands, you know, could play after the game, have a little competition, see who the fans like more.
Motley Crue and Kiss. That would be a tough matchup. Yeah. A lot of hair whipping around in that.
Nick Davila, Rod Windsor wide open, touchdown Rattlers.
There are very few times that I've seen Rod Windsor running wide open this often in a football game. But the coverage just completely dropped by the Cleveland secondary. Communication has been so outstanding throughout the year so far. Both defensive back, middle and field side, chase Chris Jackson as he runs the drag route. Rod Windsor, this is just a layup from the Latin laser to his main target.
Rod Windsor now 5 catches, 97 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
The face of that kid really tells the tale of the 19,000 people who were here to watch the Cleveland Gladiators.
Murrieta somehow, the holder there, got it with one hand, with the left hand, got it down. The extra point is good, and Nick Davila, touchdown number 7. Looking like he's on his way to another ArenaBowl MVP. Chargers and Cardinals at 10:20, Monday, September 8th on ESPN. Both games also available live on Watch ESPN. Arizona set to kick off. On the return, it's Jones, and Jones brought down by Glasper at the 14-yard line. And let's look at the night for quarterback Shane Austin. It has not been pretty.
He's thrown interceptions time and time again. 4 on the night. That one courtesy of Kerry Reed as he hid behind the defense. This one off the pass rush. Big mistake from Austin. Double clutching the football, trying to throw it to the wide side of the field. Floats a football, and Jeremy Kellum does a great job undercutting the route. And here, under duress, throws the football right into the waiting hands of Kerry Reed yet again. Shane Austin remains in the lineup at this point.
Austin throws, and Lewis drops it. And you've been fair. It hasn't all been Austin. There have been several times where his receivers have let him down.
Another situation where we see a drop from Theron Lewis again. There's plays that have been available to Shane Austin, but there we see a look at Cristie Kerr, who was the opening day starter. Started for the first month of this football team and was undefeated when Steve Tunn made the move to go to quarterback Shane Austin. You got to say the offense most certainly went to another level with Shane Austin in the lineup and in a game where the quarterback is struggling so badly.
Austin up the sideline. Gilson can't get to it. Good coverage from Marquise Brown.
In a game where Austin's struggling so badly, you wonder if the thought creeps into the head of Steve Tunn of whether or not he should pull Shane Austin, put Cristie Kerr in the lineup. I think no. I mean, Shane Austin was a quarterback who was right there in the thick of the MVP race, 99-15 touchdown interception ratio. You stick with him until you essentially think you're giving up on the game.
We saw in the quarterfinal round Shane Austin throw 5 interceptions and they rallied to win. This is a different situation. But I know at the time I thought he should have been pulled, and Stevie Tunn stuck with him, and it was the right decision because Cleveland found a way to win. 3rd and 10. Austin to Lewis, and Lewis has got it. Stays on his feet, but they're going to rule him out of bounds because of the contact with Kellum at the 11-yard line.
And it is the right call. Outside of the final minute in each half, if the ball carrier after the reception takes his own momentum into the boards, then he would be ruled inbounds. But there, Jeremy Kellum gets a piece of Theron Lewis as he's making the grab. So that being collisioned by the defender into the wall, that's why Theron Lewis was ruled out of bounds.
The left arm of Kellum got on the backside and made it easy for the official to make the call. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Austin to Goodman, and a pick up of 3 yards on 1st down.
Jeremy Kellum makes the stop. A gain of 3 on the play.
Let's take a listen to coach and quarterback.
Right whack. 50 pick. Right whack.
Hey, work him. Right wax, 50 pig on one-on-one. Ready? Corner, corner.
Post with an in route coming as we get into the latter stages of the third quarter. Strike opportunities need to be attempted for Cleveland.
Wilson, that ball is tipped, forces the incompletion. And Kerry Reed has gotten his hands on 2 balls defensively. He also has 2 interceptions and a couple of touchdowns. I mean, Kerry Reed defines the old school Arena Football League, true Ironman play. He's been terrific tonight.
And he's so long. And he's 6'2", but he plays so much longer than 6'2". Hall of Famer Randy Gatewood was talking to us about it before the game, just how long Kerry Reed plays in the box. He plays like a guy who's 6'5".
Go!
Third down. Austin Goodman, wide open, touchdown, Cleveland.
I think even forcing the football into Dominic Goodman would be apropos at this point. But Goodman able to get open here in the end zone. Good route combination. Gilson runs off the coverage. Shane Austin throws an accurate football to a wide open Dominic Goodman.
And they will go for 2. Do you agree with this decision?
A 39-point game right now. Opportunity to make it a 37-point game. I'm not a math major, but you want as many points as you can get.
Austin looking, throws off the net, and that ball will be picked off. And it's Kellum again, who's having himself quite an evening. It'll just go down as a failed 2-point conversion. Score 58-19, and Shane Austin has felt pressure. You know, we talked to Anthony before the game with some of the hardcore Arena Football League fans. It was all going to be whether that they could protect, and the Arizona front has just been better. Their defense has been too good.
Blood in the fingertips of the defensive front from the Arizona Rattlers. They've hit, they've harassed, they've hurried the Cleveland Gladiators QB. This is a defensive line I think they studied at the Cobra Kai Institute. A lot of karate chopping going on there in the middle. And J.B. Long down at field level. The Gladiators coach Steve Tunn.
Well, Steve, the decision to stick with your starting quarterback there being discussed upstairs. Why did you opt to go with Shane for that drive?
You know, Shane's the guy that got us here. I mean, he's been a huge part of our success all year. You know, the whole team is struggling right now, so I don't want to make it seem like we're putting it all on Shane here. But we're probably going to go with him a little longer and then maybe make a change.
And going for 2 there, a statement to your team that you haven't let go of the rope?
No, we just want to keep playing. I want these guys to finish strong and keep playing.
Thanks, Coach Tunn.
It's a very good answer. Hard to argue with that.
It's been a historic season for the Cleveland Gladiators, and you know there's disappointment in that bench area. Steve Tunn trying to find a way to keep his team fired up and see if they can mount some sort of a historic comeback here. Largest margin of victory in an Arena Bowl is 38 points.
Well, let me ask you this. Why didn't they go for an onside kick there? I mean, often we'll see teams, once they're down by more than 2 scores, onside kick after every single touchdown, just hoping to get extra possessions.
I certainly wouldn't have doubted Steve Tunn for going for an onside there. The only reason I would think he doesn't is because he wants to give his defense a better opportunity to try and play the ball and come up with a stop here.
Nick Davila, the AFL 2014 MVP, already with 7 touchdown passes. And Rod Windsor put it into another gear and gets close to the 20. And again, I can't emphasize enough, for as good as Rod Windsor is, Mo Purify is every bit as good as him, and Mo Purify hasn't been available through the playoffs. Hard to believe how much talent Arizona has assembled and how happy and unselfish all those receivers are.
You see this Arizona offense continuing to dissect the Cleveland defense, knowing the fourth quarter coming up 1 quarter away from history.
Arizona, it's all about finishing. They are 15 minutes away from a three-peat and will be only the 2nd team ever to get it done. Arizona looking to close it out in the 4th. Score by quarter, an hour ouch, that second quarter. That's when Arizona accelerated and let Cleveland know that Arizona truly is a dynasty. They are on the verge now, Anthony, of 3 straight titles. It's only been done once before by the Detroit Drive in a very different era of the AFL, 1988 through 1990. And the theme for Arizona has been finishing, because other teams have let Cleveland hang around. Arizona has not allowed that to happen.
Kevin Guys talked about it over the last 2 weeks, reiterated it to us during the day-to-day. His team needs to make sure they put this Cleveland Gladiator squad away. They're 1 quarter away from doing it.
And doing it in the fashion of the Arizona Rattlers, and that is dominating. Their last 2 Arena Bowl wins, they crushed the Philadelphia Assault. Now, the score difference wasn't quite this extreme, but they thoroughly beat Philadelphia both times. This Arizona team, going forward, for historians, is going to have a real strong case. One of the great franchises to have ever been assembled, as Alex Singleton makes the catch and picks up the first down.
And you look at this stretch of the 4 seasons that they've had, a lot of similar cogs. I mean, there's been players who've been in and out of the lineup a bit, but Rod Windsor's been here for multiple championships. Nick Davila has been here now for multiple Arena Bowls, obviously for all 4 of the Arena Bowl appearances. But the players on defense, most especially, are where they've been able to keep the same guys, especially that defensive front.
Hold everything, no play.
False start. Offense, number 12. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
All right, last year's Arena Bowl in Orlando.
And early on, the game was competitive. The Philadelphia Soul meeting the Arizona Rattlers for the 2nd consecutive season. They gave them much more of a fight last season than they did the previous year in New Orleans, but Arizona was just too much, had too many weapons, played at too high a level.
Hurry up! Hurry up!
1st and 15. Chris Jackson will be in motion. Already has 1 touchdown in the game. It's Tyson Poots, makes the catch. Jackson with the tackle. Take a listen to Kevin Guy and Nick Davila. Boy, this combination's been real good.
Right, Z short sell, spot 1? I like 8-9 smash takeoff. Delay or smash takeoff. Here we go, right. Here. Bicep, right wing zoom, 8-9 smash takeoff. On 2, ready? Now, 1, 10, 10.
Davila looking for Poots. Defender draped all over him. Still makes the catch. Touchdown, Rattlers.
And Tyson Poots, for the most part, the number 3 option in this wide receiver core when Maurice Purifies in the lineup. This is an outstanding 3rd option when you have it. Former Southern Utah All-American at the FCS level. Not a burner with the speed that he has on the outside, but played with a level of physicality and tenacity at the wide receiver position.
The depth at wide receiver is just ridiculous in Arizona, and the fact that they're all so happy and root for each other, because any one of those guys could have left as a free agent over the last few years and said, hey, I want to go just be the number 1 guy and catch 150 balls and get all the touchdowns. These guys seem to all enjoy playing together.
Winning is fun.
It is fun.
People like to win. It's contagious. You like to be around it, and especially with the Arizona Rattlers organization, the success they've had over the years, they do it the right way.
So I don't think there's anybody who would, the most unanimous vote I think we'll ever have is whenever it's time for Kevin Guy and Nick Davila to go into the Hall of Fame. I mean, this run that they've been on, it's going to be unlike anything we've ever seen. So it would seem that there are going to be 2 guys who are definitely going to make their way into the AFL Hall of Fame. Rattanamorn's extra point is up and good. 65. Nick Davila, he is playing like the heavyweight champ. Check the belt. And He made a new record for himself tonight. Most completions in Arena Bowl game history. Nick Davila passes our own buddy, Sid Bonner. There it is.
Had the Arena Bowl record for touchdown passes coming in tonight. And like you mentioned, has set for completions. Also passed for all-time yardage in Arena Bowl play.
Jackson will not get a chance at a return. And let's start thinking from a historical perspective. Sid Bonner will bring you in here on greatest quarterbacks to have played in the Arena Football League. Jay Gruden, the current head coach of the Redskins, 4 Arena Bowl titles. You were voted as the greatest quarterback of all time. Nick is now a part of the conversation. What are your thoughts on it?
What do you mean he's a part of the conversation? I think he's at the head of the conversation, probably leading the table. I mean, nobody has done that. I mean, it's three-peat, and to do it the fashion that he's done it, where he's dominated and dominated throughout every one of those seasons. He's been able to stay healthy. He's been durable. He's been dominant. He is the best.
Cristie Kerr is in the game right now, looking for Lewis, and Lewis makes the catch. Beautiful throw from Cristie Kerr, who was the opening game starter and started through the first 3 games of the season.
Cristie Kerr threw for 5,000 yards at Southern Illinois University. You look at the stature that he has as a quarterback, 6'5", 240 pounds. I mean, he does look more like the prototypical QB that you want, a huge arm. There was a level of life that was breathed into the offense when Shane Austin came into the lineup. But if you put him through a combine and you put Cristie Kerr next to Shane Austin, all the measurables are there for Kerr.
And Kerr is going to keep it himself and no place to go. Picks up about 1.5 yards. Imagine the challenge for Cristie Kerr. It's so rare that a guy loses his job when he's undefeated.
It's a big decision that Stevie Tunn made at that point in the year, just a month into the season. He talked about how impressive Shane Austin had been during training camp and even just preparing himself in games to be the backup, but knowing there's a chance that he may become the starter at some point. And Shane Austin, once he got the starting nod, only 1 regular season loss throughout the rest of the year.
Second down from the 10-yard line. Kerr throws, and that ball too high for Gilson to bring in. I feel for the Cleveland fans because the anticipation and excitement at this arena pre-kick was off the charts. I mean, the two of us, as we walk off the field, you can feel this adrenaline rush that we might have a chance to be a part of something truly special for a city so yearning for a champion, and then to have the team not deliver, you just feel like you want to give the whole arena a big hug right now.
I've got big arms.
You do have big arms, much bigger than mine, yeah. You'd be more effective at that than me. Glasper, the big hit on Kerr. 4th down coming up.
And this is when the game gets fun for a pass rush for defensive linemen, because in the Arena Football League, you know that you're expecting there to be a pass on every snap anyway, but especially when the offense has to go a lot of 5-step and you're a great pass rusher like Tyree Glasper, like Marcus Pittman, you get that extra blood in your fingertips. You're really pinning those ears back, knowing you've got time to set up rush moves, and quarterback's likely to be holding the football because of a deeper drop.
4th down. Kerr, pump fake, buying time, throws it, and there's going to be a penalty flag. It's going to be a fresh set of downs for Cleveland.
Pass interference, defense, number 24. Acquisitions to the goal. Automatic first down.
Alan Chapman from Kansas State ends up picking up the flag late. But, I mean, you watch all 3 DBs in the secondary from the Arizona Rattlers, and they're just square on in man coverage. This is down here near the red zone. Receivers start off with a route combination, then just start to run, get open, and it leads to a late flag from Chapman because there was pass protection from Cleveland. But until the flag, I mean, there was just glove coverage from the secondary of the Rattlers.
1st and goal at the 5. Kerr looking for Goodman, goes up high and gets it. Touchdown, Cleveland.
It's what Dominic Goodman's been known for throughout his career. He's a rise and grind kind of receiver in the red zone. Cristie Kerr threw this ball late, got it over the outstretched arm of Arkeith Brown. Right into your living room, you see Dominic Goodman come up with the red zone TD. Got some fun camera angles we get to work with here, broadcasting in the Arena Football League. Handhelds right there at field level, bringing you inside the action.
Extra point is missed. We both spent time down on the field. You as a sideline analyst, me as a sideline reporter, and you're on the field. And I always say, do it at your own risk. Games to follow at 3 p.m. Eastern and 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That is Tuesday. All those games available on Watch ESPN as well. Nick Davila's night is complete. And I think there's zero doubt that he is going to win the MVP. Arkeith Brown hoping for a chance at a return. He will not get the opportunity. All right, Shed, what do you have for us, friend?
Hey, all right, it's just interesting. I was standing there unprovoked. Nick comes up to me, Nick Davila, who is the MVP, comes up to me and says, you guys need to give the MVP to Kerry Reed. And just to tell you what kind of teammate he is and how aware he is of how valuable that young man is to this team.
Well, that's great, but I don't think Nick gets to make that decision.
I told him that flat out. You're not
I mean, it's a great thing to say, and it's noble, and it's humble, and it's gracious, but he doesn't make that decision. And Ron Windsor still going hard, and Ron Windsor finally taken down after he picks up another Rattler first down. Jason Murrieta in at the quarterback position. Murrieta did start one game, the game immediately following the passing of Nick Davila's father. But then Nick did come in early in the third quarter, and in a great tribute to his late father, he was very close to, played flawless football and led their team to a victory.
It was in a Week 12 contest. You got your arch rival. Murrieta got the start, didn't play at the level that the team needed him to play at to give them a chance at a victory. But Davila came in the game. Certainly shouldn't be lost in that storyline that Nick Davila did want to start the contest, did want to play on the field with his teammates that night. Difficult decision not only for he, for his family, the entire organization.
The penalty is declined, result of the play. First down.
I was watching that game on television. You and Seth Bonner were there calling it on CBS Sports Network, and it was really an emotional and electric night.
There were times where, frankly, both said we were emotional seeing the outpouring of affection to Nick and seeing the Rattler community rally around their quarterback. It was a really special night, and then to have Nick come into the game and play so well and see the emotion on his face and the way that he honored his relationship with his father. For me, it was one of the most special nights. I was fortunate to be there with Sid and our crew. And Nick's just an incredible guy. Strength and honor seems to be his motto, and he certainly lives it.
He's one of the guys in the Arena Football League that spends time in the community, working around the Phoenix area, giving of himself to people around town. And it's known around not only Phoenix, but all around the state of Arizona that Nick Davila is the type of player, the type of person who's willing to spend that time with a lot of different projects.
Murrieta, Jackson's got it. Touchdown, Rattlers. Chris Jackson, he's about to get his second Arena Bowl ring. Won his first title with the Philadelphia Soul back in 2008. And at the age of 39, still getting it done.
Late addition to the roster after Maurice Purify had to leave with a knee injury weeks ago. Chris Jackson just keeps himself in amazing shape. As he and Kevin Gott communicated about this possibility, Chris Jackson told him, maybe I couldn't play a full season for you, full tilt, but I can give you a few weeks, coach.
It also helped Chris Jackson in his career away from football. He trains athletes and works with receivers and helps them run routes. He was in very good shape to begin with when Kevin Guy came to him and said, hey, we may need you because Mo Purify can't go. The extra point is up and good. And the Arizona Rattlers, I feel like, are trying to make a bigger statement than simply winning the 2014 Arena Bowl. 14 Geico High School kickoff. Games are also available live on Watch ESPN. That is all coming up on Sunday. But for those of us that work in the AFL, it seems like football never ends. Most of us have our college seasons around the corner. As we start to put a bow on the 2014 Arena Football League season, this Arizona Rattler team, we all said during the season they were the team to beat. And sometimes it's really hard to live up to those expectations. They start 14-0 and then they lose 3 of their last 4. Everybody starts to doubt them, but in the end, they were the class of the league. So the only other time that a team has won 3 straight was the Detroit Drive. They won Arena Bowls 2, 3, and 4 from 1988 to 1990. They did compete in 6 consecutive Arena Bowls, and that quarterback there, number 7, is Jay Gruden, now the head coach for the Washington Redskins. The Drive ultimately won 4 Arena Bowl titles during a 6-year stretch, and that's a heck of a measuring stick to compare. Now, they're different eras, and I know it's always hard to compare, but this Arizona team, certainly in the modern era of arena football, is an equivalent dynasty.
This is the greatest stretch of arena football I've ever seen, and I think I would caution anyone to say differently. When you think about the fact that the Arizona Rattlers, this is the 84th game they've played over the last 4 years. The brutality that some of these players go through, especially playing on the line of scrimmage, this defensive front that we see out here putting in work for the Rattlers throughout this ball game, and Nick Davila, who's been there starting the vast majority of their games. You have to say 84 games in 4 seasons. I don't know if there's ever been a club in professional football history that's played that many games, and most certainly that's been able to play at the level that Arizona has.
Well, then let's fast forward. I mean, what is someone going to do in the offseason where Arizona won't be the favorite? Because I know you love this when the big fellas get the football. O'Brien, it'll be first and goal for Cleveland, as we'll let you enjoy this big man play, and then we'll look forward to the 2015 season.
There's a lot to enjoy about it. Kid O'Brien, one of my favorite offensive linemen in the league. 6'5", 325-pounder. He was a quiet player for this club last season, but stepped forward as more of a vocal leader. And this one, as he gets tackled, gets run down from behind by Cliff Dukes. That was about a 6.9 on the Richter scale, I think, as Kid O'Brien finally hit the turf.
O'Brien had 7 catches during the regular season, including a touchdown. And Deeker throws, and it's off the hands of Goodman. All right, let's go back to looking at 2015. Kevin Guy comes back. Nick Davila comes back. They keep this core group together. They will clearly be the favorite again next year. I mean, if you look at other rosters, where can a team make enough of an improvement? And I guess the first team you consider to be San Jose, their arch rival. But San Jose made all those changes, and they still got knocked out by Arizona. Who's the next team to try to take down Arizona?
I think when you look at the American Conference, the Pittsburgh Power made a lot of strides this season, had a 12-game winning streak going at one point before they got into postseason play. Ron James and his staff, they did a great job after he took over for Derek Stingley.
And that pass too high. Let's take a look at the award winners. And Anthony Herron emceed the gala on Thursday night. You see Nick Davila, not only the MVP, the Offensive Player of the Year. Jason Stewart, phenomenal season for the San Jose SaberCats. Rookie of the Year, Greg Carr. Coach of the Year, Steve Tunn. And the Playmaker of the Year, Terrence Sanders. And congratulations to all those guys, and very deserving of those honors.
This has been a historic season for Steve Tunn, and you talked about how you feel for the Gladiators organization. 17-1 regular season, the greatest record in Arena Football League history.
As Goodman secures the touchdown.
A bittersweet ending as we near the close of this game. Dominic Goodman led the Arena Football League with 156 regular season receptions. Good ball, physical grab off the coverage of Alan Chapman. You do feel for this Gladiators organization, and we went through it earlier in the game. The 50 years that the city of Cleveland has been waiting for another championship in a major professional sport. We can certainly say at this point, they're not going to get it tonight, Wolf.
That's for sure. And normally in arena football, almost anything can happen when there's still a minute to go in the game. 72-32, not so much. We will step. Just a few moments ago, Kevin Guy with his quarterback. Been an emotional ride in 2014, and you can't see it from our vantage point, but there are tears coming from his quarterback, Nick Davila. Lost his father this season. This team went through a lot of adversity, stayed together, and you can see the love these guys have for each other.
84 games into this 4-year stretch of making Arena Bowls, on the cusp of their 3rd consecutive championship, and this the most emotional season that they've been through. Had 2 deaths in the family this year, 7 babies born, a team that's grown up together.
In the long term, that's going to be the most impressive stat, the 7 babies. That's going to last a lot longer than the celebration after the game. Tonight's attendance, 18,410, the 5th highest attended Arena Bowl in the 27 Arena Bowls that have been played.
People were into this. I mean, the Arena Bowl 27 was a trending topic on Twitter earlier in the 3rd quarter.
Let's go to JB Long.
Quickly with Kerry Reed, we just talked to your quarterback, Nick Davila, who says he doesn't want the MVP of this game. He thinks you should have it.
Oh, man, I appreciate it, man. Thank him for being a good teammate, good quarterback, man. We work hard as a team, man. I appreciate that.
If we gave you a vote, who does it go to?
Man, we all go to. Everybody. All the receivers, everybody play hard. Whole team. We played as a whole team, as an effort. Great effort. Play hard.
Thanks very much.
No problem.
Very diplomatic answer from the former Michigan State Spartan. And, you know, all the guys sound the same. It's like they're just all selfless.
There's a lot of love down in that bench area. Camaraderie at an all-time high for the Arizona Rattlers. Certainly don't want to discount the night that Kerry Reed had either. I mean, as outstanding as Nick Davila's been, 8 touchdown passes, only 1 interception, set several Arena Bowl records from a career standpoint. That yard that needs to be gained there when you're leading in the final minute of the 4th quarter.
That's going to do it. That's going to be your final score. The largest point differential in AFL history, a 40-point blowout to cap off the three-peat. Let's go downstairs to Sid, who's with the winning quarterback.
Thanks, Ari. Down here with the MVP of Arena Bowl 27. Nick, put it in perspectives. When you could bring this championship home for Fernie.
Yeah, you know, God is absolutely amazing. And this is not only for my dads, it's for my brothers and sisters. And like he used to tell us, it ain't about, you know, life's a tough, an ugly world, and it'll beat you down. But we're fighters, and we're going to fight through everything that God gives us. And I couldn't be more happy for our organization. They had my back, and just so happy.
Talk about moving forward with your organization, the Arizona Rattlers, arguably the greatest franchise in the history of this game. What does it mean to you to be a part of that city and bring another championship home to Phoenix?
Well, it's huge. You know, you started it earlier in your career, and I used to watch you play because there wasn't too many lefties out there. And, you know, I'm just honored to play here for the Arizona Rattlers with this great city, great coaches, great organizations, great teams. And when you have that, you develop a dynasty and you win.
Remarkable performance. Great job. Congratulations, MVP.
Thank you very much. Shout out to all my family back at home. The Davilas, Lopez's, Hernandez's, Rapolis, I love you. Thank you for being there for me. Love you.
All right.
That's good stuff there from Nick. What a class act, Nick Davila. 3 straight titles, back-to-back MVPs, the league MVP in the 2014 season, and he's a guy that's just so easy to like. And let's go downstairs to JB Long for the trophy presentation.
Anthony, Ari, thank you both very much. Congratulations on a great broadcast. It is my honor to reintroduce the commissioner of the Arena Football League, Jerry Kurz, to present the Foster Trophy.
Appreciate it. Let's start with first congratulating the Cleveland Gladiators and their fans. A record-setting season, the 5th highest ever Arena Bowl crowd in our 27-year history. With me to present the James F. Foster Trophy is Bill Nero, one of the founders, and James F. Foster. It is my honor on behalf of the ownership of the Arena Football League across the league, all players, coaches, and fans, to award Arena Bowl 27 Foster Cup to the Arizona Rattlers. 4 years in a row in the Arena Bowl, 3 years champion. Congratulations. Kevin Guy.
Right here. Head coach Kevin Guy becomes just the third head coach to win 3 times in the Arena Bowl. Your offense looked every bit the part of the tops in Arena Football League, led by Nick Davila, regular season and Arena Bowl MVP.
Great season with Nick Davila. We did it as a team tonight. Our defense got a lot of big stops tonight. We were able to put a foot on the gas pedal as an offense. We felt like if we could pressure them in all 3 phases of the game, we could get it done. And I'm very, very proud of these guys. They've earned it 3 years in a row. We can say it now. We've done it now. We three-peated. We did it. Great job.
Kevin, one more thing before we let you go. Even though it is the 3rd consecutive time, there is something special, something different about this group, especially because of the adversity individually a lot of you overcame.
We overcame a lot this year. We had a lot of adversity off the field, deaths, babies, gallbladders, did it all, you know, but our guys figured out a way to do it. This is a great bunch of guys. Our players deserve it. They're the best in the league. Our fans are the best in the league. Stay pit, Rattler Nation, we're bringing it home.
It's a 3-peat for the Rattlers and a handful for the franchise. Ari, we'll go back upstairs to you.
No surprise that Arizona 3-peats. They're just the class of the Arena Football League. There is no doubt about it. Anthony Herron, what will you take away from the 2014 season?
It's very hard to win championships in professional football, and as easy as Arizona makes it look sometimes, you see the emotion on the faces of their players and coaches because of everything you pour into it.
Well, it was a great, fun season for all of us associated with the Arena Football League. It's a ton of fun bringing you the games. And our thanks to ESPN. Great to renew the partnership and bring the Arena Football League back to ESPN. The Arizona Rattlers 3-peat. On behalf of our entire crew, JB Long, our Hall of Famer, Sid Bonner, my man, Anthony Herron, I am Ari Wolf, saying so long from Cleveland. The Arizona Rattlers complete the 3-peat, and they are